What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video, and today let's talk about achievements. Let's talk about 5 wins that I've had so far in my career up until the end of 2021. And as a little bit of a background, I actually started my YouTube channel at the end of 2017, so it's coming up on 4 years now. And actually it has been 4 years. And so I want to share with you 5 things that I have accomplished so far in my musical composing career up to this point, and we'll kind of break them down, and I want to invite you to celebrate your wins with me as well in the comments below. But before we do that though, in case you wanted to get started and you're ready to really start writing music and committing to furthering your process, your career, then I want to give you my Composer's Toolkit guide. And this is really a free guide that goes over the bare essentials you need to really get started in writing music. So equipment, hardware, and software, all that stuff is combined in this guide here. And it really just shows you what you really need instead of all the stuff you could be spending on unnecessarily. So if you're interested in that, you want to make sure your setup is complete, then download that guide in the description box below. It's totally free. Just click the link and it will take you straight there. And it's my thanks to you for watching this video. Let's talk about these 5 career highs, as I call them, that I've had so far in my career. Again, just a quick recap. I started my YouTube journey at the end of 2017, so it's been 4 years now, and all of the gigs and opportunities I've gotten were as a result of the YouTube channel, because I was brought up classically trained on the piano. Up to the time I was in high school, like grade 11 and 12, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really feel super passionate about anything until one of my friends started DJing. He started producing music on the computer, and another one of my friends started improvising on the piano in the music room in our high school. And so I was like, wow, these guys are doing some amazing stuff. If I could also, compose music and do it on the computer, that would be so much fun. It feels like so much fun. So that's when I started getting into songwriting and producing music on the computer. And then going into the world of orchestral stuff has just been super inspiring, and the technology has just gotten so much better nowadays. But anyway, let's talk about these 5 things that have happened in my career so far that I'm very proud of, and I'm hoping that I can continue getting these types of opportunities in the future. The first one is having the opportunity to work with Tina Guo. So if you don't know who Tina Guo is, she's an amazing composer, cellist, performer. She also plays a bit of piano as well, which is really cool to see. But I essentially found Tina through Cinesamples, and they basically have two of their libraries feature Tina's playing, actually 3 to think about it. But the ones in question I'm talking about are Tina Guo's Cello Legato, which is very, very famous in the sample land, and Tina Guo Volume 2, which is like the fleshed out rest of the articulations in the cello that Tina performs as well. And so when I was reviewing one of Cinesamples' libraries, I had already had the Tina Guo Cello 1, and I was already using that legato patch in so many of my productions. But when I was reviewing one of Cinesamples' libraries, they reached out to me and offered me to review the second library as well, Tina's second library. And I put that video out. I think Tina saw it, and it was just, that was a really cool way of me to actually be able to meet her and to get into contact with her. And on Facebook, she had posted something about looking for a MIDI orchestrator, and a lot of people were applying. So I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and just give it a shot. So I attached a piece that I had recently uploaded called "Once Upon a Romance," and then she had written a piece that she was looking for additional orchestration on. So she actually replied to me, and she let me know that she enjoyed listening to the piece and she was really interested in working with me, and I was, of course, very honored. So after a bit of back and forth, I basically orchestrated the piece, got it back to her, and she enjoyed it. She put it up on her channel, and it brought me a new audience. It gave me some more subscribers, some more client work. And so looking at what Tina's doing now is absolutely incredible. She works with Hans Zimmer regularly and a ton of other composers, and she's just doing some great stuff. So that is one of the opportunities that I will always remember, and I've had the chance to meet her in person a couple times when she came to Toronto, where I live in Ontario, Canada, and she did a couple performances there and stayed at a hotel, so I kind of met up with her there and her boyfriend at the time. And yeah, it was a wonderful opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that. I got to see her play live as well in a concert downtown, which is really cool. So anyway, that's the first thing that's the first career highlight I could say. And if you're interested in checking that out, just type in like Tina Guo, Chris Yu, and you'll find the piece there. It's called Homeward Bound. Okay, that's her piece. The second thing was working with Anne Catherine Dern, and this was a totally different experience. So at this point in my career or YouTube life so far, I guess you could say, I had been uploading for at least 2-3 years at that point. And so I did a composers roundtable with a couple other composers, Dirk Ellert, Alex Pfeffer, Blake Robinson, and Daniel James. So there were 5 of us there. And I felt like the odd one out. Like, these are guys that have done some wonderful things in their careers, and I'm just this guy who does YouTube stuff and I just upload pieces now and then. But so I was really happy when they kind of invited me to the chat, and we did a video. We kind of did a video, and we were all discussing things like libraries and all that, and then we uploaded them on our own channels. And Anne Catherine Dern, who is a wonderful composer herself, she reached out to me after she saw this roundtable. And so she was looking for an additional writer for 1 or 2 of her shows, of her scores that she was writing for films. And then that's kind of how we connected. And she listened to my piece Tranquility, if you don't know that one. It's kind of similar to Once Upon a Romance, actually. But she enjoyed that one, and we kind of got connected. And I just had the really great opportunity to work on a Hallmark film, a romantic comedy called Her Pen Pal. And some of my music is in there. So it was an absolute pleasure. Super high pressure, because I think we had to do over 70 cues within 1.5 weeks. And so we all had to do a lot of stuff, work really hard and get the revisions in and all of that. And that was a really cool learning experience. Again, super high pressure, but hey, sometimes you just have to learn on the job, But yeah, I definitely don't regret that for sure. So it was a great opportunity. Big thanks to Anne for bringing me on for that. And it was just, again, a great experience to work with other composers and just see how the whole process works with scoring for film. So that's career highlight number 2 so far. The third one I wrote down was actually writing a complete album this year. So essentially, this is 2021 at the time of this taping. I basically recorded, produced, orchestrated my debut album from start to finish. My friend Dave from Doves Go West mixed and mastered it for me. But over the course of, let's say, from November, December of 2020 all the way to August of 2021, I was working on this album called Freedom. And so I incorporated all my different influences and inspirations throughout my life, put them into a series of 12 tracks, and released it to the world. And while it's not like famous or anything, it's not huge, I just appreciate the people who have listened to it so far. Really, really kind words from most of the people who have listened to it, and I just really appreciate it. Just gave me a chance to output creatively in a packaged body of work that I wanted to put out there and represent myself. So that's all. But it's not a business thing, it's just a creative thing. But as a musician and composer, you want to put a piece of yourself into the world and have people listen to it eventually, right? And so that was another career highlight for me, is just establishing myself in the creative, in the musical world, putting my mark there, and releasing my album with a bunch of different influences in there, which I think a lot of you could see if you listen to it, if you want to listen to it. The fourth thing is building my online business and are earning almost 50K at the time of this taping. So I've launched my online business since June of 2020, when I launched my first course, Cinematic Music Creation. And at the time of this taping, it's December of 2021. And so in 1.5 years of online business, I've earned almost, let me think here. I've made about $60,000. First year up until the end of 2020 was about 20K or so. And then 2021 was about 45K. So a little over 60K in total so far. And it kind of shows that with consistency and just providing value to the world, it is a possible model. And, it's something that it gives rewards over time. Money that comes really, really quickly is usually fizzling out pretty quickly as a result as well. So generally, if you want to build something that sustains over a long period of time, you have to be in it for the long haul. You have to continue to commit to regular free value to people. And so I've realized that if I want to continue to build this business and continue to double it every year, then I have to stay consistent with what I'm doing. I have to develop new products and training that takes you even further. If you're interested in certain topics and really want to dive deep, then those are the trainings for you. Keep on working in my community, make sure people are receiving value, and just giving of myself however possible. And that really is what business comes down to, is how much value can you give someone else, you know? So that has also been another career highlight, is using my channel as a means of providing value to other people and then earning an income from the back end. And I only see that continuing to grow, considering everything going well, hopefully. And then finally, and this can't be stated enough, I think, excuse me, is just the concept of being consistent. Having discipline, having a regular routine to follow, and just executing, you know? I think something that is usually intimidating for a lot of people when they're thinking about building an online presence or just putting themselves out into the world is, how much can I sustain this for, right? Like, first of all, you have to be talking about something you are genuinely passionate about, and you have to put yourself out there consistently. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to add value to people. So the fact that I've been able to stay consistent over 4 years on YouTube and upload at least one video a week every single week for these 4 years proves to me that I have now added this routine to my life, where it is work, but it's also fun at the same time, because I know that it's helping you. And I know that it's something that can improve your career or your life or your business one step at a time, one piece of content at a time. And so thinking about, you know, that discipline or that routine that we can start using in our own careers and our own lives, I think has helped a lot of my students, actually. And a lot of people have told me that they appreciate and they admire their consistency and just the willingness and the commitment to regular content. And that's something that I think we can all apply as composers, whether that's writing music consistently or, you know, showing up and giving people value, like answering questions in forums or giving advice on libraries or whatever it is. Just being dedicated to improving your craft or putting yourself out there over a long period of time. It's a long game that can result in success, monetary gain, achieving more of a name for yourself, getting more gigs, etc., etc. So that's the fifth and final. It's not really a dedicated career high, but it's something that I've learned over these 4 years that I'm proud of. So just to recap, number one was working with Tina Guo and actually having the chance to orchestrate one of her pieces, which is currently on her channel, Homeward Bound. Number two was working with Anne-Catherine Dern on a Hallmark film called Her Pen Pal, and I had the chance to actually score for film, which was a lot of fun. Number three is writing an album and actually putting myself out into the world creatively, musically, and having a body of work I can look back fondly on and build from when I continue to write more music. Number four is building my online business and doubling it this year compared to last year, and hopefully I continue to double it in the years to come. And fifth and finally is just the sheer consistency and dedication to my work. And I think that a lot of us, all of us, can use measures of discipline and just determination and consistency in our lives, because that's what moves things forward. If we don't have consistency, if we don't have routine, then things can just fall apart, and we just feel terrible as a result, because we feel like life is crumbling around us and we can't control it. But we can control it. We just have to make that decision to be consistent and put ourselves out there regularly, or write music, or whatever it is. And so when you get those things done, then it just makes you feel better. You know that you've contributed to your life or to the world in some way, and that is a long-term thing that you can definitely keep in mind and apply to your own life always, forever. So those are my 5 career highs, let's say. Do you have any of your own? I'm sure you do, but please let me know a few of yours, maybe 2 to 3 if you have them at the top of your mind. What are some things you are super proud of that you've achieved so far in your career? Let me know in a comment below. I'd love to celebrate with you. There's so much negativity in the world nowadays, so I think it's appropriate to have, you know, some content that is more positive, more uplifting, and the fact that we're a community together, we should be supporting one another and celebrating each other's wins. So let me know in a comment below your career highs or your celebrations so far, what has really stood out to you. And again, if you are getting into writing music and you really want to get started, then I want to give you my composer's toolkit, and it really goes over the fundamental elements that you really need to get started in writing music, whether that's hardware, software, equipment, just making sure you have the necessary elements to start writing music and just be on your way, basically, to write music effectively and without any hurdles. So it's totally free. If you want to check that out, just click the link in the box below. It'll take you straight there, and it's my thank you to you for checking out this video. I appreciate it, my friend. I'll see you very, very soon, and take care. Bye-bye.